Hey guys, what I want to talk to you about today is ad sets, well, campaigns, ad sets, and then ads. So this might be really confusing to you if you're brand new to Facebook. The way that Facebook organizes campaigns is what I want to run through. Essentially, we have three levels of a campaign. We have what we call the campaign level, we have what we call the ad set level, and then we have the actual ads. So that is the creative where you choose your image and the copy. So let's run through each one of those together right now. So as you can see, I'm an ads manager. And this, when you're first logged in, is what we call the campaign level. This is all the campaigns that you're running. And if you have lots of them, they'll all be sequenced under here by order of activity. So if they're active or inactive. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Create Campaign to explain to you exactly what the campaign level does, and especially so you can understand how it relates to the ad set level. So let's go ahead and click that. So essentially, well, you can take a tour if this is the first time, but we're going to skip that. Essentially, here are the three levels I was just telling you about: campaign, ad set, and then new ad. Sorry, I'm outside, so the birds are all chirping. So at the campaign level, Facebook actually tells you what the difference is. At the campaign level, what we have is the objective. This is where we select the objective for our campaign. These are the objectives. So this actually is missing a couple of them. For example, reach is brand new, and so you should see reach under awareness. But essentially what we're looking at here is it a link click campaign, or i.e. are we driving traffic? Is it an engagement campaign? Are we just boosting a post? Is it a video views campaign? Are we trying to generate leads? So a lead ad, this is what this is for. Are we doing a conversion campaign? So are we trying to track and optimize for people buying or people subscribing or people opting into a webinar? Or is it a product catalog sale? Now this is a little bit more advanced for the e-commerce guys, and we'll cover this one later on in the program. But essentially all you need to know right now is what is the objective that you have for your campaign. And so for each campaign, you can only have one of these. So I'll give you some context of this. Let's say you wanted an ad to get people to register to a webinar, and you also want one ad to get video views. Well, you're going to have to create two separate campaigns for those two different creatives and objectives. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, what we have following that on the ad set level, so right over here, and I'm going to go back into Ads Manager in a moment and show you what that looks like. But the ad set level is really where we set the budget, where we set the placement. So is it going to show on mobile? Is it going to show on desktop? Is it going to show in Instagram? Is it going to show on Audience Network? And it's also where we select our targeting. So you might have one campaign, but you want to test out, for example, Australia versus United States. And in order to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to create two separate ad sets. And one of those ad sets is going to have Australia, and one of them is going to have United States. So hopefully that all makes sense. And then what we have is the ad level, and that is really where we're selecting the format. Is it a video? Is it a carousel? Is it a canvas? Is it one image? And also the text, the copy, and the media that we're using. So let's quickly have a look at what's going on here. All right, so let's pretend we are going to run a conversion campaign. So let's click this one, and we'll just leave this as default for now. Now you'll see we're actually in the ad set level. So this is where we're going to select the conversion we want to track for. Is it purchase? Is it add to cart? You can see some of these have never been triggered. So you're going to select the conversion that you want to track for. And then over here is where you're going to set your targeting. So are we using a lookalike audience? This is done under custom audiences tab here. Are we using a custom audience, so people that visited the website, an email list, whatever that might be? Are we using a lookalike audience? That's where you're going to select that as well. And you can choose the locations and the age and then the interests as well. So we're going to cover all of this later on in the program. What I want to just give you is an overview of the ad set level. And then here what we have is placements. Now be very, very careful about this one because by default, Facebook will always go automatic. But here's the thing, if you're running a link click campaign or a page post or a video views, even a conversion campaign, Facebook is more than likely going to feed your ad into Audience Network and into mobile a lot more than it's going to feed it into the newsfeed, the desktop newsfeed. So what you want to be really careful of is you want to sort of control this. You want to make sure that you are selecting the placements that you actually want. What I tend to do in my campaigns is I tend to always test between mobile and desktop. So I have two different ad sets that use the same targeting, but I'll be testing mobile in one and I'll be testing desktop in one. And I never tend to use Audience Network unless it's for an app. This just means, Audience Network just means it's third-party placement. So your ad is being shown in games and in apps. And it tends to get lots of cheap clicks, but they don't tend to be high quality clicks. So just be wary of this one. And then you can select your budget and you can select an end date if you'd like. And if we just go down here, you can also select the optimization. Now, it used to be that you could select link clicks here. So you could optimize for link clicks initially until your pixel was seasoned enough. But now Facebook is just forcing us to do conversions. And so you need to select, is it a 1 day, a 7 day, and in fact 28 days is going to be rolled out pretty soon. So you'll see that there soon as well. Again, we're going to be covering this later on in the program. And then your bidding strategy, automatic and manual. Now you're going to name this. So let's say this is targeting US mobile placement, just so that you can recognize it. And then when you click continue, you'll see now we're at this level, the ad level. And this is really where we choose the format. Is it a carousel ad? Is it a single image? Is it a video? Are we doing a slideshow? Really cool thing with this, as you can see here, is that now we can add music to our slideshows as well. So those are getting quite cool to work with. And then as you come down here, you're going to put your text, select the website URL. This is a carousel, so it's a little bit different, but you're going to select your website URL, you're going to put your headline, your text, your call to action button, and then you're going to place order. So here's how it all fits together. Let me go back into Ads Manager right now. Okay, so you can see that we have two campaigns running at the moment. We have one called video views and we have one called conversions. So one of our objectives is really to get more video views on a video. We want to raise awareness essentially. And then the second one is we want to get people to buy that product. So we're retargeting those people that visited the website or that viewed the video. Now we're separating these ones into two separate campaigns because they're essentially two different objectives. So remember, the campaign is the objectives. Now if we go into this campaign, video views, what you'll see is we actually have three different ad sets set up. So we're all targeting Australia, and then what you'll see is that two of those are targeting the interest snorkeling, and one of them is going on desktop and another one is going on mobile. And then we've got one targeting GoPro interests and this one's just going on mobile. So the reasons we separate these as different ad sets is because we're trying to test out the targeting. So the interest targeting, we want to see which interest targeting is going to work best. But we separate our desktop and mobile because if we didn't do this, if we put this under the same ad set, if we just selected desktop and mobile, Facebook is going to feed it mostly into mobile because that's where the real estate is. So that's why we have to separate it. And some clients will convert better on desktop and some will convert better on mobile. There's no rhyme or reason between it really. And then if we go down to the ad, I think there's just one ad. There you go. Now we've got the ad. So a couple things here. What we see happening a lot is that a lot of marketers will run with 5 or 6 or even 10 new images when they're initially testing. So they're going to have lots and lots of images that they're going to split test. Now, the problem with that is that Facebook will automatically optimize within a 24-hour window. So Facebook automatically picks sides for the ones that it prefers, not necessarily the ones that are going to work the best. So if you are wanting to split test lots and lots of different images, if you're wanting to split test lots of creative, my recommendation is that you split test, you create a different ad set. So you duplicate the ad set, which is up here. You're going to duplicate this ad set by going create similar ad set. And you're just going to edit out the creative to test out different creative. So I would recommend you have max 3 creative under each ad set to properly test your images. If you have more than 3, Facebook just optimizes it within the first 24 hours, and it's not it doesn't work very well. It's kind of a known issue with the algorithm. And so you're not going to get a really good picture of what Facebook prefers or what's working best with your audience. And so that is how campaigns relate to ad sets and how ad sets relate to ads. The ad set is what allows you to test different targeting and bidding strategies and placements. And the ads obviously is your creative, and the campaign level is where you are setting your objective. Now, the way that I would recommend that you organize your campaign is to essentially look at your funnel. So look at the funnel strategy that you have for your client. So for example, let's say the strategy that you have is at the top of your funnel, you have a video. And then in the middle of your funnel, you have a link click campaign to send people to the website. And then you're following that up with some retargeting as well. So there's really 3 steps in your funnel. This is a common e-commerce funnel as well, the one I'm describing here. Now, what you're going to do is essentially you're just going to have 3 campaigns. What we see is a lot of marketers create all their split tests at this level, at the campaign level. So they'll have video views United States, video views Australia, video views da-da-da. And what you end up having then is like 10, 20 campaigns down here, and it's really, really hard to get a proper clean picture of what's happening. So just divide your campaigns by the steps in your funnel. That's really all you have to do. Now, of course, if you are wanting to test between video views and a link click at the top of your funnel, then that would involve creating 2 separate campaigns because those are 2 different objectives. But essentially, if you have a 3-step funnel and you're very clear on those 3 steps and you know that's what's work, you should only have 3 campaigns. And then under each campaign, you're going to have lots and lots of different ad sets where you're testing out the targeting, you're testing out the placement, you're testing out the different creatives and the different headlines. So I hope this makes sense, guys. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out and I can explain this in a lot more detail.